Ha ha ha. Just kidding. 6 minute video with no video. Sounds great. But happy Friday. So let's kind of start over. So you can get these you can get these DXF files online from different vendors of easy to cut projects or what have you, like this one here. And if we kind of zoom into this section over here, there's some of the cut sheets that we can consider in order to program our job, right? So kind of what I did is I went in here and selected one of these sheets and then just copy and pasted it into a new file. So, all right. It's a little slow here. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to come in here and do a window select like that, and then I'm going to do a copy, do a new file. Okay, I'm going to do paste. I'll do a view all, and then that's your view all. So now we can see the cut sheet and the pieces we need to cut out. Now, these are going to slide together in these slots here, right? So if we need to make any adjustment, it might be in some of these widths, depending on the material that we're working with. So I'm going to just go to evaluate and measure, and I can come in here and measure one of these lines, and we can see what this number is. So it's 0.59, so it's greater than a half inch. I guess maybe 5/8. Yeah, it might be the number 5875, right? I think that's right. Let's see. No, 625. That's 375. What am I looking for? 7/16. No, I don't know. This is what it's coming up as. So if it was a half inch, you know, that might be what it's set up for. I'm not sure. Or the next fraction. But this number is based on this width here, and we can adjust that if need be. If we know how much we need to bring it in or bring it out, we could use something like stretch. So we could go to utilities and stretch, select what we want to move, and then we could say, you know, it's 0.5906, and let's say we wanted to add some amount to it, you know, maybe we're going to go minus 125. You can go like that, and then that way you can adjust the width of that one and kind of go through. That's one method to do it. Another way I might do this is like line parallel, and set in the dimension you want, something like that, and you can go like this and like that and be able to offset it to two sides, and then you can come in and do like a trimming method, and there's a bunch in here, but maybe something like strings. So you could go here, 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 and there. And just kind of a fast way to click around and trim the profile, and then you'll just come in and select what you don't want. So we can do a Control Z a couple of times to undo that. Alright, so that's a little bit about some geometry editing. Alright, so now we want to program it. Let's say we know how thick it is, we know the material we're going to cut, we're not going to do any editing, we just want to program it. So you know, most of the time, like when you're first starting, you'll just load a cam tree from scratch. So you'll do something like right click on the job or cam default, you'll do new job, you'll come in here and pick which machine, or maybe it may be defaulted to your machine currently, and then you'll run the stock wizard. You know, you'll use this bounding box option, and it will pick up the length and the width of the stock from that, and then you could enter a thickness, and such, but what's most important here is, the stock will help with simulation, but we want to grab this origin and make sure that it's in this corner here. So we'll go something like that. This is your X, Y, and Z. We'll say OK. So now we have the job set there. And then you would come in and load one of these strategies. Depending on your license, you'll have different options available. You'll have to go through selection. So what I'll end up doing is selecting the outside shape first, and then I'll do a window pick in order to invert the selection and just select the inside stuff. Again, we'll pick a depth. So if it was a 1/2 inch, we might punch through more, maybe 0.55, depending on how level or flat the table is, or even the stock for that factor. So maybe we punch it up a little bit more to make sure it goes through. We'll say OK. In here you have a bunch of strategies. The one we want to do is just a profile rough. That will give us some more options. You have a profile rough and a profile finish. The rough one is going to give you some more options. Here you can type in the tool size. We'll uncheck this and set the number. Now on these industrial machines you got to manually set the control or the spindle speed, so I'll put like the H value I want to run here. This number is going to be your feed rate. So normally I start at like 100, and I'll use the override on the control to go up or down. And then let's see, I'm going to clear stock for finish, so that way it cuts net, or it cuts to the size of the geometry. I'll say do it in 2 passes, a little bit greater than the diameter of the cutter for your depth of cut. We'll go ahead and compute, and it's going to generate this green stuff. So it's going to be on the inside. It tends to default to the inside. So what we'll do is just reverse this direction. So we'll go here, right click, reverse direction, go here, right click, compute, and then that will update the tool path, and the green is where the tool will go to cut everything out. So if we're happy with that, we can go ahead and post the code. That will write all the G code. We could right click, choose a save as, and that would save the G code, or you could do a post and save as, and that will write the G code and save it at the same time. So you have a couple of different options as far as how that goes. So that's what it looks like when you start a job from scratch. After you've created a job, you can right click on the job and come down to where it says save job as template, and then what this will do is save this cam tree so you can use it in a future project. So I'm going to delete that one that we just made, and then I'll do a right click, job from template here, and then this one I have a bunch that I've saved, so I can come in here and pick this 2D profile, and then now it has the job already set up. Now you may need to run the stock wizard again to pick up the stock where it's located. You may need to come in and set your origin, or it may be in the proper location. But everything else is pretty much set up, so you can just come in and select geometry. Of course, you can always update for the individual projects you might be working on. This, I'm going to reverse all that and choose OK, and then compute this. So that kind of really speeds up your programming there. I have different ones that are turned on and turned off, so I can turn this one on, right click on it, post and save as. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the code and save that program just like that. Alright, this time we have video. Alright, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.